Welcome back. Let me continue the previous video, which is technical stop loss and risk level stop loss. What is technical stop loss and what is risk level stop loss? As I discussed with you in the previous slide, you should know about the 2C position sizing, which is 2% of the capital, which is the maximum amount you can lose in a single trade, and this is what all the professional traders will execute. So 2% of the capital can be lost, and I'll discuss with you about this point as well. So but let me do this. For example, your capital is $100,000, and your so according to 2C, C is 2% of the capital, which is equal to $100,000 into 2 by 100 is 2%, so which is $2,000. So in a single trade you cannot lose more than 2,000. And suppose I said that there is a share stock name which is XYZ. So XYZ is a stock which is to be purchased at 140, and I say technical stop is 130, and if I say that target is 150 as a raw example just. So what is your stop loss now? Technical stop loss is entry price minus technical stop, which is 10 points. So if for each share, if the share value falls to $130, you need to book loss and come out of the trade. So what is the number of shares you can purchase? Because since you can lose maximum amount of $2,000, then you should assume that your technical stop loss will hit in this trade, and you should enter those number of shares only, not more than that, in order to be consistently getting profits. So which is B2 minus Z2, which is B is risk level, and the price, which is, sorry, this is the one, right? So 200. So 200 into 10 is 2000, is the maximum amount you can lose, and this is the investment on this trade. And you can also say that if target hits, for example, now you purchase the number of shares I can purchase is 200. So now your first target is what I told you is 150. So if target hits, so first profit booking is at $150. How many shares you will sell and book profits? So out of 200, book 50%, which is 100. So is equals to 50% is 100 into 150. So you already booked 15,000. So you got a profit of 1,000. Now remaining 100 you can hold for a longer period of time if it continues in your trend, keeping a trailing stop loss. I will explain you all these things in detail. For example, why you should consider a technical stop loss. So this is the general graph of a stock. For example, your stock is going in this direction like this. Maybe it goes in a random way. So that means there is a movement of a stock from a certain price to a certain price, and it closes at a certain price. So now on a daily basis there is something called volatility. You can search in Google about the volatility, stock volatility, and you will know what is the term volatility. Based on the volatility, you will assume that for today the price moves from this point to this point, or this point to this. There are chances for a stock to move from this point to this point. This is called volatility. So for example, a stock which is having $100 and having a volatility of say 5%, that means this stock from 100 can go to 105 or 95. There are chances that it can go up to 105 and 95. For example, now your risk-based stop loss is only 2%. So what you will do, you will if you keep the risk-based stop loss of 2%, then definitely due to this volatility your stop loss will hit, and you are forced to book loss, even though your strategy is very perfect. There is high probability of getting profits, but still, because your risk based stop loss is less than the daily volatility or technical stop, so, and if you're considering risk based stop loss as main stop loss, then it is very likely that you will end up in losses. So it is very important to consider only technical stop loss. And again, I'm telling you, technical stop loss is, if your volatility is 5%, you need to consider at least 20% up and down, at least 20%. This is based on, again, the complete analysis and statistical study of the stock market. At least 20% up and down should be your considered from the technical stop loss. That means if I consider 5% as the volatility of a day, which is 105 and 95, then again I need to consider 20%, which is plus 20% of 5% is 1%, which is plus 1 and minus 1. So your stock can move, your stop loss should be literally 106, or if you're buying, it should be 100, if you're buying, it should be 94, and if you're selling, this is for buy stop loss, and this is sell stop loss. If you're selling a stock, it should be 106. Generally I keep 1% as a stop loss. That 1% is very normal stop loss. It is having a probability of hitting the stop loss. That is not actually a technical stop loss. We need to understand what is the technical stop loss. Okay, so we will very soon introduce you about the technical stop loss, and our clients or strategists always have a technical stop loss in place, so that you will not, because of the whipsaws, you will not end up in booking losses. So this is about the technical stop loss and risk-based stop loss. Okay, I think I have covered the entire session and hope you all understand. But please, if you're having any questions, please ask me in WhatsApp group or in the comment section, whatever you prefer. Okay, now let's go to the PPT. Okay, this is what I explained to you. Technical stop loss should always be 20% below the technical stop. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. Time required for a trading. Do you feel that you need full time for trading? Let us say if I wanted to become a technical trader, and if I don't have time, then do you feel that technical trading is not my cup of tea? Then your answer is wrong. You can do, if you're having any amount of time. For example, in a day you can spare 10 minutes, you can become a technical trader. In a week you can spare only 10 minutes, still you can become a technical trader. So it is not that, but you should define your time frame before becoming a technical trader. So for example, in intraday generally you request whole day, but it's not mandatory to, but I wrote it here as a whole day, but it is really not mandatory to spend whole day's time. At least 1 hour's time would be sufficient. If you're a daily trader, daily once in the morning you will open, and once in the night, evening before closing, you can see. Anyway, your trader, your broker is always having a fixed order types to keep a stop loss, automatic stop loss, automatic triggers and all. So it would be benefit for you to save your time. Weekly, if you have weekly ones, it's sufficient. Monthly ones, it is sufficient. But just if you can see on a daily basis one time, it would be very good, if whether you are daily, weekly, or daily trader or weekly trader. But for monthly traders and short-term traders, it is not necessary. Okay, you can have a weekly once or just like that. So generally I prefer calling these, people call short term. Short term is what? You should define the short term. Until and unless you have a specific definition, your short term doesn't have any validity. So my definition for short term is week to a month. So if I say short term trade, then within a week to month you can have that profits, or your stop loss can hit any time. And mid term is 1 to 6 months, and long term is 1 year. This is a technical term. If I say short term and there is no specific definition of short term in terms of a time, then there is no meaning in that. Okay, fine, let's go to the next slide. Equity trading. This is what everybody is aware, and in the first session I discussed about equity trading. Equity trading is simple as that. You have, just like you're saving your money in the bank, you're buying equities and you're saving your money in your account. That is the savings account, or account where your money is saved is called savings account, and the account where your stocks are saved is called demat account, dematerialized account. Okay, all the stocks you have in the dematerialized account, that's called demat account. This is equity trading. So now what is the benefit of equity trading? We will very soon look into it. Okay, simple is that you buy a stock and sell at profit. You can only do buying here, you cannot do selling here. Initial sell and later buy cannot be done, because once you have money you can take it. If you don't have money you cannot take it. As simple as that. You have stocks, you can sell it. You don't have stocks in your demat account, you cannot sell it. As simple as that. So you cannot have negative value in your demat account. So shares equity trading selling is not possible. Of course there are some brokers who will say that okay, sell it for a short period of time and we will give margin, or we will handle it, but you will not have the shares in your equity as minus value. It's all related to virtual amount, okay, or virtual trading, unreal trading, you can say. So in equity trading generally you don't have selling, but in Zerodha and some brokers will say okay, sell it for today and today itself you should close it. Selling intraday is possible in Zerodha, and some brokers even offer for a week's time. Okay, sell it today and within a week you should close it. Maybe ICICI Bank, if I remember, will offer weekly selling stocks as well. Okay. Now derivative market. What is derivative market? This is something very interesting to everyone because the profits are huge here, but the risk is also very huge if you don't know properly. See, what is risk in equity is defined 2% C. What is risk in future trading is also defined 2% C. So 2% C is your golden rule. Don't cross 2% C until and unless you are very confident. And if you are confident and aggressive, you can go up from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and 10 is the maximum limit. 10 should be done by very highest professional traders who know what is complete risk and who know how to cover the losses and all. Okay, so future, what is future? Future is simple thing is that it's a contract. Okay, you, that means for example, let's say that I have say 1000 say XYZ is a company which is trading at $1,000. Now I literally did not buy this XYZ shares, but I created a contract saying that this stock can go up to $1,200. Okay, for example, this is August, so by August ending this can go this can go up to 1200. So I bought this contract. Contract is simple, a piece of paper. So I assume that this $1,000 share can go by $1,200 within this month. So this contract is purchased. So what happened? I literally don't need to have all the amount, and I purchased this contract here. I did not purchase the shares. The shares will not be in my demat account, but the contract will be purchased by me. So I purchased this contract at 1000. Means because I'm expecting it to be 1200, maybe it can be 1000, 10,010 or something like that. So by the end of this August, my if it reaches to 1200 or whatever the contract value is there, that is the profit what I'm going to get by end of the August. This contract is going to expire. So that means you are forced to buy these shares. I'll explain you in a simple video possibly. For example, let me say that Reliance. Say Reliance, if I say NSE, this is equity. Okay, now Reliance, if I say Reliance, see August futures. So in August, I expect what is the price. So this is the contract. So I added this, and if you see, Reliance is 2,113 rupees here, and the future contract price is 2,190. So that means always the future contract will be a little bit more than the equity price. So this is the contract, and if I buy this, so what happens, for one share it will be 2,113, but instead if I try to buy a contract, this is the number of shares, this is the lot size. So the future contract is having this many number of shares already in this, and it costs you about 287,613. Let us see what is the actual cost. So what is the cost? 2113, right? 2113.8. And what is the lot size here? 505. 505. So what is the actual cost you have to invest on this is this much into, sorry, this much, which is $1 million. But your broker is charging you how much? Which is almost one fifth of the total investment, since this is only a contract. This is not the actual shares which you're going. For example, if you wanted to see the holdings, you can see here, and you will have the, see, this is it. You don't have stocks in your demat yet. So whenever you purchase your shares, this is the place where you can see all your holdings in your demat account. But here in futures, if you purchase futures, you will not see in holdings, you will see in positions. All right, I think you all got it. So at the end of the contract, maybe by the end of August, your contract automatically gets expired, and the contract gets squared off. Whether you are in loss or profit, maybe your Reliance falls from here to 2000 rupees, then you will be losing accordingly, proportionately. And if you are in profits, and if it price increases, your price also increases. So this is derived market, derived from the actual market. So that is the reason it is called as derivative market. All right, guys, let's go to the next session, which is again very interesting for you all. Okay. And one more thing, this is very, very important. If you buy today and the future contract, and by the end you are losing or gaining, this losing or gaining amount is automatically settled by your broker on the same day. So, for example, if you bought a future contract for $100 and it fell down to $90, then your $10 is automatically cut from your margin. So you will directly see it opening at $90 next day. That means your margin, your capital is adjusted to $90. You can, I mean, like, if you wanted to understand more about future contract and all, you can Google it. It's very simple, and the knowledge is very easily available nowadays. But the only thing is that you need to find out which knowledge is correct and all. You can read multiple books and to see to understand more about the future contract and all. Okay, again, you can do both, because this is a contract, it's not the equity. You can sell the future contract, you can buy the contract as well. You don't need to literally have the number of shares to sell. Contract can be sold even though you're not having. So somebody will be buying, because there is a limited period of time where there is a settlement of your selling and buying, so you can sell it in advance as well. And the second point, and I think it's the last point of this video, which is option trading. Option trading is again a very good concept, which can give you very good profits and losses as well. Options are having, again, you can search in Google about the option contract. It's a contract which gives right to buy and sell, not to obligate. This is completely technical term and all, I don't want to go into that. A very simple thing. Suppose, I'll tell you in simple terms. Suppose you have a land. Suppose you have a land of, say, 100 square meters. Very simple example. And this land costs you $100,000. Okay. Now, to purchase this land, what you will do, you will not give $100,000 in advance to the owner of the land. You will say that, okay, confirm that I will take this land after 3 months by paying you an advance amount of $1,000. I paid you $1,000, and I will give you all the remaining amount of this 99,000 within 3 months, and I will take the land. I will purchase the land. Now this $1,000 is the amount which you are risking. Now, before this 3 months, this land cost went to $200,000. Now your owner, the landowner, says that, oh my god, I'm selling it for $100,000. But the contract he purchased, he invested only $1,000. So what happens if I wanted to sell it to other guy? It's $200,000. So I don't want it to sell this. I don't want it to take this obligation. So what he will say, you purchase the contract for 1,000. So I will pay you 2,000 and cancel the contract. So this is something called option trading. It is in terms of stock market, it is not 3 months. It can be 1 week or month. and your contract expires for indices. Your contract expires every Thursday, every week Thursday, 6, 30, 20 and 27 of August is your contract expiry, and your monthly expiry will be on the last Thursday of every month, 27th. So your contract expires for all the stocks. The contract expires on last Thursday of every month. And for Nifty, which is index, I think everybody knows, somebody know about Nifty or Bank Nifty or some other indices. It is every, no, as of now, Nifty and Bank Nifty, I guess every week Thursdays is the expiry. So what happens is that now there are two things here: call option, which is called CE, and put option, which is called PE. So I say that the contract, this land value or the stock price, now will come to the real terms. Okay, now we'll go here. So Reliance is a stock price which is having $2,113 now. So I guess that this stock price moves to 2,200 or whatever it is. So I will say Reliance 2,100, and see the prices are 2,120 CE, 40 CE. So I'll go for 2,120 CE, for example. That means this contract value is $75. Okay, so if I buy, the actual amount will be 505 into the 75, which is 38,000. The main risk here is that if your stock price is not moving above 2,120, your price will be the 75. You will lose the entire amount and it will be zero. That is the reason option trading, please take very caution in that. And even though it moves to 2,120, you may not get your 75 profit more than 75. Maybe it will be only 20 or something like that. Okay, so option trading is little risky, but I just wanted to tell you what is call option and what is put option in this presentation. That is the scope of the presentation currently. So now again, if I feel that this price will fall, then Reliance 2,100, for example, see, it is put option. So in Reliance 2,100 put option, so is 64. So again I can buy this option, but again I'm saying it's very risky. If it doesn't fall to 2,100, and even though it is by the end of August, if it is 2,100, also your price will be zero. So you should be very quick in booking profits and booking losses in options. Otherwise you will lose entire money in option trading. So strictly, if you're knowledgeable, do option trading, else you should stay away from option trading. Or whenever I share some tips in group, please follow that accurately and come out of it as early as possible, or whenever I suggest to come out of that and book losses. Okay, thanks guys. And what else are in the scope of the video? Okay, you can also sell options. Call option can be sold and put option can be sold. In general, theoretically, if you search in Google about the option trading, people will say that option trading, option buying is having limited risk and more profit, and option selling is having more risk and less profits. But in reality and in practicality, option buying, you will lose the entire money, and the probability of getting profits in option buying is very less, and option selling is quite opposite to that. Practically, theoretically you will find it a different answer. Anyway, this is the greatest website which I love. If I have any doubt on technical analysis, I'll go to this website. Please go to this website for any technical clarifications if you're having. Okay, I told you already this, which is more right. Types of orders, again in Zerodha or in your broker, you will have these things: market order, limit order, stop loss order, and SLM order. Just go through that and you will understand if you want. Market order is the price at that moment of time, and you will be bought at the market price. Limit order is something which is, if it is to, again, if it is 2,113, I wanted to buy it at 2,100, I can place a limit order. See, for example, I wanted to buy it 2,100, I can place 2,100 here. So when the stock price falls to 2,100, only I'll buy. This is called something limit order. And stop loss order is something which gives you a trigger price. So if I wanted to have a stop loss order, And if I say that if it goes to 2150 only, I wanted to buy 2150 only, I wanted to buy. So this will trigger your order, and 2151 here I can place, the order will be placed. So this is something your order trigger price. And this is something which your execution price. And this is very simple, you can google it, or even your broker's documentation will have all these things. And the stop loss market order also is similar, but at that time whatever is the market price, your order gets executed. All right guys, thank you very much for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please ask me in WhatsApp group, or you can also put in comment sections. I can answer you as early as possible when my time permits. Thank you.